It was nearly 2 hours before daybreak, that time which in the autumn of the year may be truly called the dead of night, when the streets are silent and deserted, when even sound appears to slumber, and profligacy and riot have staggered home to dream. It was at this still and silent hour that Fagin sat in his old lair. Stretched upon a mattress on the floor lay Noah Claypole, otherwise Morris Bolter, fast asleep. Towards him the old man sometimes directed his eyes for an instant, and then brought them back again to the wasting candle. He sat without changing his attitude or appearing to take the smallest heed of time, until the doorbell rang. He crept upstairs. And presently returned, accompanied by a man muffled to the chin, who carried a bundle under one arm. Throwing back his outer coat, the man displayed the burly frame of Sikes, the housebreaker. There, laying the bundle on the table. Now you take care of that, and do the most you can with it. It was trouble enough to get. I thought I should have been here 3 hours ago. Fagin laid his hand upon the bundle and locked it in the cupboard. But he did not take his eyes off the robber for an instant. "What now?" cried Sikes. "What do you look at a man like that for?" Fagin raised his right hand and shook his trembling forefinger in the air. "Hello," feeling in his breast. "He's gone mad. I must look to myself here." "Oh, no, it's not, you're not the person, Bill. I've no fault to find with you." "Oh, you haven't you? Passing a pistol into a more convenient pocket." "Well, that's lucky. For one of us. Now, which one that is, don't matter." "I've got that to tell you, Bill. Will make you worse than me." "Aye? Well, tell away and look sharp, or Nance will think I'm lost." "Lost?" She's pretty well settled that in her own mind already. He looked perplexed into the old man's face, and reading no satisfactory explanation of the riddle there, clenched his coat collar in his huge hand and shook him soundly. "Now speak, will you? Or if you don't, it'll be for want of breath. Now open your mouth and say what you've got to say. Come on, out with it, you thundering, blundering, wandering old cur. Out with it." "Suppose that lad that's lying there," began Fagin. Sikes turned round to where Noah was sleeping, as if he had not previously observed him. "Well, suppose that lad was to peach, to blow upon us all. Now suppose that lad was to do it of his own fancy, not grabbed, tried and earwigged by the parson and brought to it on bread and water, but of his own fancy, to please his owner, taste, stealing out at nights to do it. Now suppose he did all that. What then?" "What then? Well, If he was left alive till I came here, I'd grind his skull under the heel of my iron boot into as many grains as there are hairs on his head. Yes, but supposing I were to do it, I mean, I that know so much and could hang so many besides myself. I don't know. I'd do something in the jail that'd get me put in irons. And if I was tried along with you, I'd fall upon you with them in the open court and beat your brains out afore the public. I'd smash your head as if a loaded wagon had gone over it. Fagin looked hard at the robber and, motioning him to be silent, stooped over the bed upon the floor and shook the sleeper to rouse him. "Bolter! Bolter! Poor lad," said Fagin, looking up with an expression of devilish anticipation and speaking slowly and with marked emphasis. "He's tired. Tired with watching for her so long. Watching for her, Bill." "What do you mean?" Fagin made no answer, but stooping over the bed again, hauled the sleeper into a sitting posture. And when his assumed name had been repeated several times, Noah rubbed his eyes, gave a huge yawn, and looked sleepily about him. "Tell me that again, once again, just for him to hear," said Fagin, pointing up at Sikes as he spoke. "I'll tell you what," said Noah, shaking himself pettishly. "That about Nancy. You followed her?" "Yeah." "To London Bridge?" "Yeah."
"Where she met two people?"
"So she did."
"A lady and a gentleman that she had gone to before of her own accord, and who asked her to give up all her pals, and Monk's first, which she did, and to describe him, which she did, and to tell 'em what house it was that we meet at and go to, which she did, and where it could be best watched from, which she did, and what time it was that the people went there, which she did. She did all this. She told it all, every word, without a threat, without a murmur. She did she not?"
"All right," said Noah, scratching his head. "That's just how it was."
"Yeah. Now what did she say about last Sunday?"
"About last Sunday? Why, I told you that before."
"Yeah, well, again, tell it again."
"Oh, they asked her." As he grew more wakeful and seemed to have a dawning perception who Sikes was, "Oh, they asked her why she didn't come last Sunday as she promised. She said she couldn't."
"Yeah, but why? Tell him that."
"Oh, because she was forcibly kept at home by Bill Sikes, the man she told him of before."
"Yeah, but what more of this Bill Sikes, the man she told him of before? Tell him that, tell him that."
"Oh, why, she couldn't very easily get out of the house unless he knew where she was going to. And so the first time she went to see the lady, she..." It made me laugh when she said this, it did. "She gave him a drink of laudanum."
Sikes rushed from the room and darted up the stairs. "Bill, Bill!" cried Fagin, following him hastily. "A word, only a word."
No, let me out. Don't speak to me. It's not safe. Let me out.
"No, hear me speak a word," rejoined Fagin, laying his hand upon the lock. You won't be too violent, Bill."
The day was breaking, and there was light enough for the men to see each other's faces. They exchanged a brief glance, and there was the same fire in the eyes of both.
I mean, you won't be too violent for safety. Be crafty, Bill. Not too bold.
The robber dashed into the silent streets.